Literature.
Pages.
Authors.
Reading things. The Book of Dad and Sybil.
Hello, I'm Sybil.
And I'm Dad.
So today, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a new Jurassic film being released. It's in cinemas. I forgot what it's called. You know? New Age.
Jurassic new dinosaur time. Jurassic new?
Jurassic World new.
Yeah, which
New something.
we've rinsed all of the Jurassic Park films pretty recently.
Yeah, I love them.
So we've watched all of them from the old to the new.
They're quite gory. Quite injury detail.
Suggested gore, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, because there's dinosaurs and there's humans, yes. and of course after the dinosaurs there were no more dinosaurs, and we are not used to dinosaurs.
Certainly not. So, what book are we doing?
So we are doing the Jurassic Park book, and I never knew there was a book, but
yeah.
But of course it has to be based on something. Or maybe not. I don't know. So we are going to be splitting up, and in this one, we're going to iteration. The start to the second iteration.
Yeah. So that's the intro, the prologue, iteration 1 and iteration 2. I really enjoy the way that this is set out as a book. It appeals to my nerd brain that it's in iterations, and at the beginning of each iteration there's like some kind of sciencey things that I don't quite understand. Ian Malcolm. Yeah, we'll get to that in due course.
He's one of my favourite characters and least favourite characters.
That is, we're talking about Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum.
I hate the actors who unbutton at the top.
Yeah, Sybil has a real issue in films with actors
I watched The Phantom of the Opera. I hated that love interest.
Raoul.
Yeah.
Because he always had his top button undone, and had multiple buttons undone.
Wait, what was her name?
Christine, yeah.
Christine!
Yeah. So
come back to me.
Sybil generally doesn't like male characters that have their shirts undone too much.
And just
And Ian Malcolm.
Come back!
Yeah. Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park is definitely one of those.
Yeah.
So, you want to take us away, Sybil?
So we start with an introduction called the InGen Incident, and if you've watched them like we have, or just watch the first one. Wait, does the first one have InGen in it?
Yeah, InGen are in all of them, I think. Yeah.
I think the helicopter is InGen, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. So the InGen incident starts with an evolution.
An evaluation. Yeah.
Oh yeah, an evaluation of biotechnology in the 20th century, which is interesting, but a little dense.
Yeah, I am a bit guilty, and I think I've been even when I was a decent reader, that I was a bit bad for skipping intros and forwards.
I like story bits. I like prologues.
I think I'd read a few books that had all had intros and forewords by somebody basically telling me how good the book was.
So boring.
And so I thought, well, do I really need to do that? So I almost genuinely skipped over this intro, but then I went back because I started to read it and I thought, well, what does this have to do with anything? So this intro actually covers some real-life events in molecular biology, in GM crops, medical advancements in kind of gene therapy and things like that, things that actually happened in the 20th century. And then
1900s.
Yeah, in the 1900s. Yeah. And then gradually introduces the idea of the fictional company, InGen, and weaves it into that real-life narrative, which I think is pretty cool.
I feel like InGen at this point could become a reality.
Yeah, I'm sure you could find.
Because we are like advancing, like kind of in a good way.
Yeah, they cloned a sheep, Dolly the sheep, but that was quite a while ago.
Dolly the sheep.
Dolly the sheep. So the technology's sort of there in its infancy. We're probably quite a while away from dinosaur parks though. But anyway, InGen they are the big baddies here. We don't like InGen. Boo, hiss. If this was a pantomime, we would be booing and hissing for InGen.
She's not a pantana.
Okay, so we get to the end of the intro, which once again it feels a little bit like quite a lot of the first bits of this story feel a little bit like a non-fiction text, and we get into our first proper bit of story, which is the prologue, which Sybil's going to take us through.
Okay, so this is actually my favourite bit. My favourite bit of the book. So I'm not gonna tell you what it's called until the end.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so the prologue starts with a doctor on the coast of Costa Rica, and she's presented with a patient who she gets told has been run over by a construction vehicle, which how common would that be?
I mean, a construction vehicle incident might not be super rare. This person's meant to have been run over by, did they say a backloader? So essentially, a tractor with a digger arm on the back is meant to have been an accident with that.
The doctor, Bob, who's called Bobby Carter, is not buying this, and she reckons that the patient has been mauled, which is like
Attacked by an animal.
And can you guess what the name of the prologue is? If I tell you these two clues: dinosaur book, on an island, so something that's like about as tall as a human.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like.
Go on then. Okay, put us out of our misery. What's the prologue called?
Okay, so it's called The Bite of the Raptor.
Yeah.
And do you know what raptors are?
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So yeah, she absolutely thinks that this construction worker has been mauled. They're in a pretty bad way.
So yes, the InGen employee who brought the patient is called Ed, and he's shifty. Keeps licking his lips and being off. So Bobby sends him out. The boy. So I expect he's still a child.
All right, like a teenager maybe. Yeah.
So the boy keeps on saying raptor. So Bobby isn't sure. She doesn't know that word. But she eventually finds out what it means. Do you know what a raptor means?
It's a bird of prey. So it's
aren't we like learning that like raptors might have had feathers?
yeah.
Maybe.
I think that's for some dinosaurs that they had feathers rather than scales, or certainly in part of their evolution.
There's this the last one in the Jurassic World, and there's a dinosaur in the forest. Is it a carnivore?
In the last one that we watched,
omnivore?
a carnivore, I think. The blind dinosaur.
And like, so creepy. It has like long blue feathers and then just a beak. But like the way that it like looks.
Being savaged by a very big chicken, I think.
Yes, I do not like chickens.
Yeah. So yeah. Imagine all dinosaurs now as big old chickens. So this is where we go into iteration 1, and we've got our copy of the book in front of us because it's
Tyrannosaurus Rex sounded like a car.
chicken,
Kind of.
big chickens.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of each iteration, which are not quite our chapters because there are chapters in it, but in each larger section of the book, we have a mathematical drawing and a quote from Dr. Ian Malcolm. So, Sybil, can you read our first Ian Malcolm quote?
So, at the earliest drawings of the fractal curve, Few clues to the underlying mathematical structure will be seen.
Excellent.
Ian Malcolm.
So I read that and I thought, what's fractal curve? What's all of this? And so I did some cursory Googling, and I can't say it helped me, but I'll give you the definition because it might help you, because you might not be as stupid as me. So a fractal curve is a mathematical curve exhibiting self-similarity, meaning its patterns self-repeats at ever finer scales, and this is characterized by infinite length and a fractal dimension.
So,
I don't know what that means.
like-
Do you know what that means?
maybe it could be so it's like something that clones itself.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I knew that.
Yeah, because like self similarity kind of like clones themselves, but not exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of like two adults, but just one.
Yeah, so I knew that Sybil would give this a better go than I did, because she's got much more of a mathy, sciencey brain than I do.
Doing school.
So yeah, and we get a short kind of line diagram, which throughout the iterations all start to kind of add into each other.
So the first iteration, so we start with a family traveling to a deserted beach. I think it's in Costa Rica.
Yeah, I think
Again.
yeah.
Yeah. I think all this happens in an island.
Islands near and around Costa Rica.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and once this goes on, you will soon find out what the island is called. And if you know already,
Answers on a post. She's applauding you, and we'll take some answers on a postcard, please.
yeah, or maybe.
Oh, absolutely.
Comments.
Comment away. I prefer answers in a postcard if you can work out where we live through some sort of clever computer wizardry. But yeah, sure, comment.
But no cheating and waiting till the end. We will know.
Of course, yeah, I know all the things. So what happens to the family on the deserted beach?
So there's family, so dad, mum, and an 8-year-old daughter called Tina. And I'm not saying they're all called Tina. I mean the daughter.
Yes.
So she comes across a reptile, which she thinks looks like a salamander, and about the size of a chicken. And once you've seen the film, to me it doesn't really look like the size of a chicken.
No, so we're looking at the Compsognathus, which play a bigger role in the second film, in Jurassic Park: The Lost World, and this is roughly based on that portion of The Lost World. The very beginning bit is based on this part of the story.
Why didn't they use it in the first bit of the first one?
I guess when they were creating the first film, it just didn't quite fit. It would have been too early a reveal, maybe, for the dinosaurs. Whereas in the second film, you know what you're in for, because it's a Jurassic World film and they've already established it. This is something I wondered as I read through the first bits of this book. Obviously, when this book came out, we reading this, we know roughly what the story is because we've seen the film.
And of course, Jurassic.
Yeah,
like
some clues in the title, but if you are, I wonder how much of our obsession with dinosaurs comes from films like Jurassic Park, and I wonder
100%.
I wonder if you're reading this book when it was first released, is there more of a sense of, oh, I wonder what's going on here, or was it relatively obvious from the beginning? I wonder. It's I guess we'll never know.
I mean, it's the skull of a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
It is on the cover, but the version that we've got is the one that's based on a Steven Spielberg film. So that is.
And I think we saw some online like white with that on.
Yeah, I think some of the original copies had the some claw mark type things.
I quite like.
So yeah,
that claw marks could be any animal.
Yeah. So this scene is it's a version of the introduction scene from the second Jurassic Park film. She gets bitten up her arm, and then she has a reaction. So the doctors who treat her get a sample of this foamy saliva around the bites, but when a scientist comes and says it was just a basilisk, not like the Harry Potter version.
I'm going to convert everything to Harry Potter now.
Absolutely. So
because we've recently watched Lord of the Rings, and you know what I did in that.
I absolutely did. We've referenced that in a previous
Dumbledore.
episode.
No comments on that.
So it's a type of lizard. They reckon it's a basilisk, and they just throw the samples away because they're like, okay, well, somebody's told us it's a basilisk, whatever. When Tina wakes up and they ask her about it again, and when she describes it to them, they decide, oh, okay, maybe that doesn't actually sound like a basilisk. It also turns out that Gutierrez, who's the scientist who initially said it's definitely a basilisk, wasn't actually that sure. I think he was just talking bobbins. I think he basically... There's quite a lot of bits in this first 2 iterations where it takes much longer for them to find out about the dinosaurs.
And that's why the book is so long. Because it takes so long for us to meet the characters we see in the film.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's like after like 2 starter bits.
Yeah.
That's not that long.
No. So, yeah, Gutierrez, the scientist, basically goes, well, yeah, it probably wasn't a basilisk as it turns out.
So he finds that there have actually been lots of bites, and it's usually on children, and in the town they've named it like a monster.
Mm-hmm.
That comes, or maybe that's the raptor.
Well, no.
Or is it this one?
This is the first the guy in the bite of the raptor has been attacked by a raptor because I think he's working on Jurassic Park, the park, and he gets attacked by a raptor. Whereas these are Compsognathus, who are little chicken-sized bitey dinosaurs. So yeah, they less take a big chunk out of you, unless you're a small child, of course.
Yes, and they only go for small child because, first of all, they can't do.
I guess it's a size thing.
Yeah. And if you're an adult and they're only the size of a chicken, then it's much harder.
True that.
And before this movie, I kind of forgot that, insects can be carnivores too.
Yeah? You can have carnivorous insects.
I just thought they all ate plants. So Gutierrez.
Yeah, Gutierrez.
Goes to the beach. He sees nothing for a while, but he's about to run away to his car because he's worried about being a toilet for some howler monkeys. And if you've ever seen a picture of a howler movies, monkeys, and you've liked it, then sorry, but we can't be friends.
Yeah,
those things are terrifying.
Yeah, Sybil's not a fan of the old howler monkeys. Yeah. But as he goes back to his car, he notices
one of those big howler monkeys.
What's it eating?
It's eating. Something we've seen earlier. Not a raptor. What's the name?
Compsognathus.
Compsognathus.
That's the one.
Yeah. Or as we put in our notes, mystery lizards.
Mm-hmm.
And we've came to a conclusion that howler monkeys are not to be messed with.
No. Yeah, they're eating dinosaurs. Don't mess with howler monkeys.
I mean, the howler monkeys are barely... the are barely gonna hurt them.
No.
I mean, look at all that fur, and then all that's left: eyes, nose, and mouth.
So what follows after this are more accounts of lizard research. Lots of lizard research. Gutierrez and various people researching the lizard. He takes the partially eaten howler monkey lizard, and they take samples. They're trying to work out what it is. There's lots of very scientific passages, to my mind, about the research that they do. I have no idea whether they are properly scientific, whether there's any accuracy to the science that they're doing.
I mean, how are they meant to research something that hasn't been alive for 65 million years?
I guess they don't think that. That's not the first place that their brain goes to. Although
it would be mine.
Yeah. There is
because this thing should not be on this planet.
No, and there is a potential breakthrough. So
yeah, so So the case could get cracked open, when a lab technician called Alice, the saviour, who made this story come true.
Without Alice, this book ends about now, really.
Yeah. Says that drawing does not look like anything we've ever seen before, and it kind of looks like those sketches we've done and all those bones. Yeah, it looks like that. And Tina and Alice are the heroes of our story. No Alan Grant, no Emily, and no Ian Malcolm.
So she basically gets told by the more senior scientists that nothing's going to happen. This is obviously it's not a dinosaur. Why would you be so ridiculous? Which I suppose objectively that's understandable.
I mean, they're working on Jurassic Park.
No, but these scientists aren't working on Jurassic Park. These are just out.
Wait, they don't know about it.
No, these are just out in the field scientists.
So
Jurassic Park's a bit of a secret.
So they're doing dinosaurs at the secret.
Yeah, secret dinosaurs, and we're going to get into it. So, we now go into our second iteration. I'm going to go back to our copy of the book. So, in our second iteration, we've got our line drawing has changed. It's gone slightly on the diagonal, but it's still the same. It's kind of lines and line drawings of that. And from Ian Malcolm, this is about the fractal curve again. With subsequent drawings of the fractal curve, sudden changes may appear. Once again, I'm not clever enough.
It does not. Okay. Give it me. So, subsequent drawings of the fractal curve may mean like
Hey, look, you don't need to explain it to me.
Sudden changes may appear.
I'm very happy at 34 to just admit that there are things that I don't know, and that's okay. People cleverer than me can know them. So we get into our second iteration, our second set of chapters, big section. We meet our first recognisable character from the film, Alan Grant.
It's Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie, not Emily. I didn't realise who you were talking about. So we meet Alan Grant. He's out on an archaeological dig. He loves the Badlands in the USA, and he really, really, really loves dinosaurs. He proper loves dinosaurs. He's a big dinosaur. I feel like in the films, when we first meet him, he's quite grumpy, but he's very enthusiastic here. He loves being out on an archaeological dig. We then meet Ellie Sattler, who's also, she's, one of the...
Paleontologist. I can spell that.
Paleontologist, yes you can.
And that's not because it's here in front of me.
So they're out on a dig, which is being funded by the Hammond Foundation. John Hammond is the person who is kind of spearheading what we find out, spearheading the project to create Jurassic Park. But at this point, our characters...
And in the movie, there's this kid, he says, raptors are just something and something. Something not too scary and something not too scary.
And Alan Grant basically shows him a claw and says, it'll cut your belly open, essentially.
And that'll spill your guts.
That's the one, yeah.
They kill you while you're alive.
Yeah.
It looks you right in the eye. There's no turning back. And then they attack you from the sides.
Yeah.
Rip you to shreds.
Well remembered, because I didn't remember that passage. So they get...
I've just been somewhere and they asked me what I wanted to watch. I said Jurassic Park.
Oh, fair. So they get a visit from somebody called Mr. Morris, who says that the Hammond Foundation, who fund this dig...
He seems a bit shady in the book.
Yeah, Mr. Morris. He's a lawyer who's investigating.
Oh, the lawyer.
Hammond. Yeah, he's the lawyer he's not.
Oh, that one.
He's not the other lawyer that we're going to meet in a bit. He's the lawyer that's investigating the Hammond Foundation.
Like the other lawyer. He died on the toilet.
Yeah, spoilers. There is some toilet death. It's certainly in the
Yes.
film.
He tried to hide in the toilet.
Yeah, never try to hide in the toilet.
Or maybe he somehow didn't hear and just needed the toilet.
Could be. So Mr. Morris turns up. He basically says that the Hammond Foundation, which is funding Alan Grant and Sattler's dig, are pretty shady. And we find out about Isla Nublar, which Morris thinks Grant had something to do with. But it turns out that Alan Grant was basically consulted on something sort of different. He was asked, he was basically told, "Oh, we're making a museum and we'd like some information from you." Like,
Children's museum.
It was meant to be a children's museum. Oh, what do baby dinosaurs eat? Which is absolutely the sort of question that you would be asking if you were making baby dinos, which, as it turns out, they are.
I don't think I get it at that point. Okay, so we get a first mention of the man. I think I've watched another movie with him, but I can't. I don't know.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's been in a lot of things. I think you'd have seen other films. I'm trying to think of ones we've watched, but so his character in here, Ian Malcolm, we got our first mention.
It's Jeff Goldblum. As he was part of the team, he were being consulted on what the Hammond Foundation claimed was just a dinosaur museum. But it's Jurassic Park.
Turns out,
And what's the name of this book? Jurassic Park.
absolutely. So,
Crazy coincidence.
as Morris talks, we get some more information about Hammond and InGen. InGen specifically being sketchy, Hammond just being a bit crazy. But
Dinosaur crazy.
he's dinosaur crazy. Morris then leaves, and Grant finds out that he's had a call from somebody called Alice, a lab technician, who thought that this mystery lizard is a dinosaur. So Alice, our hero lab technician, reaches out to Alan Grant, and he initially goes, that can't be true, even as a dinosaur expert. But then she faxes him through an X-ray, and he goes crazy.
And I like how he spelt it. CEERRAAZZZY. Write that down.
That is how I spell it in my notes, yes. Because he does go crazy.
Yeah. So he wants a proper sample, but isn't an X-ray enough? Isn't it?
Well, I guess
I think
you could fake an X-ray, couldn't you? You could kind of.
Do you wanna fake a dinosaur X-ray?
Because you might want to get famous.
There's no point. I mean, I guess. Oh yeah. So John so he gets a phone call from John Hammond, who invites them to come to Isla Nublar and check it out. And Grant tells him about the mystery lizard
Compsognathus.
Compsognathus.
Yes.
Yes. And John Hammond gets a bit jittery because it is.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, a dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
He goes, oh, I'd love a sample of that dinosaur. If you could get me one, that'd be wonderful. So I can destroy it because it's my dinosaur that I made.
No, he's not going to destroy it. He's going to clone it.
No, but he's already cloned it. That's why the Compsognathuses have got out.
Are they going to... Oh, they need... Okay, so he offers Grant and Ellie $60,000. How much would that be in pounds?
I'm
not American.
I'm going to say £45,000, £50,000, but I have no idea what the exchange rate is at the moment, and I refuse to Google it, so I guess we'll never know.
Don't worry. You will search it up after this.
Maybe. I can't promise anything.
And then you will put it at the end. Okay?
I really won't.
You will.
I absolutely promise you that I won't.
Comment.
Yeah, I know. Look, hey,
Yes.
if you want to interact with us, comment on the fact that Dad did not put the current US to UK exchange rate.
I never said. I just said, what's $60,000 in pounds?
So how long? What are they getting $60,000 for? How long do they need to be there?
To go on a vacation to a dinosaur island, which is of dinosaurs, for 3 whole days.
Yeah, but at this point they don't know that it's dinosaurs. They think it's a museum. They still think it's a museum.
I mean, I'd like to go to a museum for
3 days for $60,000. Yeah, count me in. Also, this was written
put that in my bank
quite a while
account.
ago. Yeah. It would be easy money if you didn't know what you were about to go through, but I think
everyone knows.
I think in hindsight, being chased by lots of dinosaurs and nearly dying lots of times is $60,000 is probably quite cheap for that.
Yeah. Yeah, give me like a couple $100 million, and then I'll do it.
Yeah, maybe. I think you might need to give me more.
But give me safety, lots and lots and lots of safety gear, and give me a 90% chance that I will not die, or maybe 99.999999999, or maybe just 100. Yeah. Right. So, yeah.
Excellent. So we then meet some sketchy lawyers. There's a firm of sketchy lawyers who are affiliated with InGen. One of them is Gennaro, who we're going to meet more of.
Gennaro. And when I was reading it, I was like, who's Gennaro? And I didn't know that he was the lawyer.
He's the toilet lawyer.
Because I didn't remember his name.
If you'd like to put a face to the name, it is the toilet lawyer from the film. They basically have a conversation about the fact that Hammond has gone cuckoo. And yeah, I wonder if if when you were reading this for the first time without the films existing, whether there was still some sense of, ooh, what's going on here? But it's definitely not there. So
I think even if I didn't watch the film, I think
I think by this point in the book you've probably worked it out, haven't you?
Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So Grant and Ellie receive their invitations and see the plan of the island. To the resort and zoo. I want to go to a zoo anyway for free.
Not just for free,
but
being
if
paid
you're
to
paying
go to
it, then absolutely, I love zoos. But the zoo is heavily fortified. They don't know why, but
with dinosaurs.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to have dinosaurs, I mean, it's more of like a safari, and if there's like dinosaurs running about, then like that's an 80% chance that you will die.
Probably.
So they go back to their dig site, and we discuss the velociraptor they have found, and that's another hint. So we've got 2 hints so far, and if you do not know why it's called Jurassic Park by this point, then why are you even here? You should listen.
Okay, so we go back to the sketchy lawyers, and Gennaro, who is the main sketchy lawyer, or the toilet lawyer, agrees. Yeah,
sketchy lawyer.
He agrees with his colleagues that if anything goes wrong, they should burn the place to the ground. I assume
you will never get a chance.
Yeah, I assume metaphorically.
Wait, what?
Well, I assume they don't mean literally burn to the ground. I think they mean they're going to take all of their money and go.
Yeah, but they still have the dinosaurs.
Yeah. So he leaves and gets in a helicopter with John Hammond, who tells him how many species of animals that they have. We know that those animals are dinosaurs. Gennaro remembers that Hammond used to carry around a mean 9-inch elephant to get people to invest in his company. That is glossed over so much in this book. I can't believe.
What do you mean?
I would take a full chapter on the mean 9-inch tall elephant. So basically, when he was doing his first experiments with genetic modifications and cloning, he made a tiny elephant, but the tiny elephant was really mean. And he used to take it to investors to get them to give money to his company. But would you not read more of the book about the tiny mean elephant that he used to carry around with him?
I think they can make a whole series of The Tiny Mean Elephant.
The Tiny Mean Elephant would be a brilliant series. I think Michael Crichton really missed a trick, and I actually think that The Tiny Mean Elephant...
They put one sentence on it.
Yeah,
that's all.
It's honestly, it's glossed over so much, and I'm really sad about it. So Grant and Sadler meet Gennaro, and they immediately get the bad vibes off him. They're not fans at all.
So we meet Lewis Dodgson. Who is he?
Lewis Dodgson, as the name would suggest, he's a bit dodgy.
Okay. A dodgy geneticist, I think, from a rival firm to InGen, who tells the board of directors that Hammond is making a cloned dinosaur theme park, and he has a way to steal the DNA. The board agrees that he should carry on. So Lewis later meets with my favourite character in this whole book, Nedry, which he unfortunately meets a very sad ending later.
Yeah. You're a big Nedry fan, though. I was quite surprised.
Yeah, I like Nedry.
I think he's a fine character, but I was quite surprised that he was like your favourite character in this. Hey, look, fine. You do you, man.
He thought that the officer was just cute.
Yeah, and he got
Sting.
He got eat.
Sting.
So Nedry meets Dodgson, and Nedry is the guy who's going to steal the DNA for Lewis Dodgson.
I thought he was working there.
Well, Nedry is. That's why Lewis Dodgson gets him, because he knows that I've got this slightly dodgy guy who works for InGen. I reckon he can do it for me.
Okay, so you meet Ian Malcolm, who, if you've been listening, has put all those quotes.
Yeah. He's the quotes at the beginning of the iterations.
Yeah, and I think he does like speeches about things, and he also talks a lot about the chaos theory in the book. So he has made so he's made pamphlets on why Isla Nublar is doomed, which is basically all about like he does this. So he puts like a water droplet on your hand. First time it goes off like the edge of your thumb. Next time it goes off pinky. So there's no telling what happens.
Which is his little idea of chaos theory, isn't it?
I mean, he's right.
He is right. I think it's quite a strange thing. You've been invited on this $60,000 tour, and you've printed pamphlets on why the place that you're touring is doomed. But I like it.
Never says that.
Yeah.
Does he say that?
That's his easy. Well, he gives them little pieces of paper that basically explain why Isla Nublar is doomed. So they all get on the plane. When they arrive, they get on a helicopter, and at the very end of this, with Nedry, and at the very end of this iteration, they get their first glimpse of dinosaurs, and general thrill ensues. Okay, they're all Alan Grant particularly incredibly. He's excited, but almost in a sort of incredulous way, doesn't quite believe what he's seeing. So that is the end of this episode. In the next episode, we're going to probably take on the middle couple of iterations, because they're a bit longer. That's where the main bulk of the story comes. We will probably make this into 3 episodes, but we'll see as we record the second episode and see kind of what time we're working towards. So we will see you.
I'd be happy with 5.
You want to do this over 5?
No.
I'm okay, thank you. We've got other things we want to move on to. So we will see you on next week's episode. Goodbye.
Bye.